wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is work.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's ATX Crypto bringing you another market pulse in the morning. I hope y'all are all having a fantastic day. We're going to be checking out some Bitcoin prices, Ethereum prices, see what's going on, see some sentiment. Are we reaching the peak euphoria already? That kind of emotion. Checking out some data and diving into the Hart ecosystem, HEX, Pulsechain, and PLSX. Diving into some news. With all that being said, I hope everyone is having a fantastic day as always. So without further ado, let's take a little look at Bitcoin. Let's start it off like we usually do. So Bitcoin currently sitting at $70,561. So it looks like it is doing a little bit of a pullback. If we break this down on the daily, you can see today it's having a slight little pullback. Again, do not try to go long or short at this point in time. It's just one of those crazy things where you will get wrecked more than likely 9 times out of 10 in this market, because it is brutal, it is fast, things go up, things go down very quickly. So if you're trying to play an estimate or anything like that, I get we're in a bull market, things are going to go up, things are going to go up quite a bit as a matter of fact. But if you get the timing wrong, you could absolutely get wrecked. So Bitcoin currently have a pullback today so far of the candle wick to wick is 4%. Again, so far today it's sitting at 2.09% on the negative side. Once again, it did actually break another all-time high today. So it actually hit $72,960. Guys, the market just keeps on making new tops. And what is the beautiful thing about a top, right? The beautiful thing when something makes a new all-time high is that everybody is in profit no matter when you bought. So you could have bought yesterday, for example, and if it breaks above that all-time high, you're back in profit. It happens quick. It's called FOMO, though, for a reason. People get these green candles. They start seeing these green candles, and they're like, I want to get me some. And so it's just kind of a funny little thing. Euphoria for others, not for us yet. Facts, Spider. And so when you start looking at some of these datas, some of these interesting points over here, let's just kind of see what the market may in fact end up doing. Typically, if you do get a pullback, it does like to go and do a 0.618 retracement, so we can actually go and just kind of do a local top to more of a local bottom type scenario. So this is bringing it back down to the $50,000 mark. Again, this is going to bring the 618 roughly around the 63,000. There's been many support resistances around this area, so you can see this is one of those key areas that I will just actually probably draw a line on. Let me actually just kind of go here, make it a different color real quick. So make it white, just so that way it just kind of stands out a little bit different. That's going to be one of my key areas of support resistance. You can see we've got plenty of points in time in which it actually has already been testing the 63,000. So if it wants to do a pullback, it would be a healthy retracement, as a matter of fact. I know like everyone wants things to keep going up. I get it, right? You always want things to keep on going up, making new higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. This has been doing that the entire time. And again, this is on a daily chart as well. If we actually break this down on a weekly, it looks even better there too, right? And so the 618 level is again right at that $63,000 mark. We saw a weak close around this area where it couldn't quite close above. It opened up and then actually held it as support. Again, this is on weekly right now. So checking it out, seeing how it's all going to end up playing out. That's the first area of pullback that I would say would be a healthy level of retracement. And it can happen super fast. I mean, this candle wick alone was roughly around 14% on that one day. So if you see another move like that to the 14% downside, it brings it right back, guess what, into the $63,000 range. So again, I wouldn't go long or short at this point in time. If you wanted to go long, it would have been way back here when Bitcoin was 15,000, you know, like somewhere in this ballpark. Again, you could have used a couple of different metrics. One metrics that we like to look at is in fact going to be the DXY, because the DXY was that first kind of indicator showing that things are about to be flipping on this situation. So right in October, the dollar actually started losing its value, and the Fed, speaking of, has actually just come out with the SEP, Summary of Economic Projections report today, or CPI, and it does look like it actually came in slightly higher. I think they were expecting 3.33, they got 3.4. So kind of a downside situation in that regard for sure. In regards to, you know, what most people are looking at, because again, the month over month was actually higher, the year over year was higher. It looks like things are going back up again, and it doesn't look like the inflation is handling it the way it's supposed to. Things are in fact ticking back up. So it's a little bit of an interesting scenario. We definitely are not going to get any rate cuts in March. Damn sure aren't going to get any rate cuts in May at this point in time, looking at how everything just came in for the CPI inflation. The next one is going to be June. I don't see anything happening in June either, so maybe by July you start seeing some rates, but this is actually better for crypto, okay? So for the folks who are in crypto, it is actually a little bit better for everyone in crypto, because at this point in time, what happens is the dollar will actually start losing the value like it's done. You see during this point in time, the dollar actually lost some value, roughly only 6%. But again, this is a DXY, the dollar standard index. So it's just one of those interesting things to be paying attention to. Even looking on the chart right here, it is flipping into a bear situation again. It doesn't want to flip bullish. So while things are flat, this is the impulse MACD. So while things are in kind of a flat period of time, it just kind of ends up doing nothing. But then when things are pumping, you can see we got that blue line above the orange. When things turn negative, it was right here on October 3rd, right when it flipped down. And from that point in time, we actually got the dollar to drop. But what happened to Bitcoin during that exact same period? Let me flip it up to weekly here. What happened to Bitcoin during that exact same period? Well, that was right whenever Bitcoin started actually having its little breakout as well. Whoops, was right here, November of 2022. Let me actually pull this up. Was I on daily or weekly there? Weekly. Yep, 2022. Okay, cool. So all is correct there. So yeah, just want to make sure I was saying the right information. So the dollar is again going down since October of 2022. That was indicated right here on this little indicator. So you can see this is one of my more favorite indicators when I look at this kind of stuff. This one right there, right when it actually ended up taking that move. Beautiful system. It kind of showed that the market's about to flip bullish on crypto. And what actually happened in November of 2022, well, we actually got a nice little flip to a bullish in crypto. And so we want things to kind of keep on going down for the dollar in terms of crypto, right? This is how it works. You want this sucker to keep on going down. Ideally, we get it below 100 even. And then at that point in time, who knows what the price of Bitcoin will be at that point. But the further that the DXY goes down, typically the higher the crypto actually goes up. So it's one of those crazy little interesting things. Now, everything is still massively bullish going into the Bitcoin side. The impulse MACD, the blue line's well above the orange line at this point in time for, you know, quite a bit. So it still has plenty of different moves to be able to make over here. It's just a matter of how high it wants to continue to go before these two eventually might end up touching. They got a little bit close on the daily for sure, right around this time, which is, you know, February 25th. And got a little bit close, but other than that, that's basically like the only time it's kind of been bearish during this time. It has actually flipped during this time where we just kind of went sideways for a period. But again, I'm not really looking at daily on the Bitcoin chart. Weekly is definitely the way to go. And looking at weekly, massive bullish. You can actually see ever since really November of 22, the blue line started, or January of 23, the blue line flipped above the orange. That was the first little indicator as well, along with the DXY and other indicators. And then it actually just kind of went sideways for a while. So we didn't really do nothing during this period of time. And then of course, after that, once it actually started going, nice little rally all the way up. So even with Bitcoin doing a little 2.5x from here in the last 147 days, very interesting to see. Now Ethereum sitting at $3,945, $3,925 now. Anyways, this is definitely going to keep on fluctuating quickly, as you already know. But one thing that I do find important to check out is the fib retracement level from its all-time high. I didn't quite get that one. From the all-time high to its all-time low. So if we actually were to break this down over here and just see on the overall chart right now, Ethereum actually flipped its 786 right here again a couple weeks ago. It was fighting the 786 for a while. It has in fact already flipped the 786. Typically when things do break out of the 786 level, you get a massive pump to the upside on the crypto. And again, we're getting that happening with Ethereum right now, so it won't be too long before it does also break its previous all-time high, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was sitting at 48.68 was the previous all-time high from this particular chart that I'm looking at. So it's not too far off from actually breaking upon that point in time. And again, roughly in the ballpark, whoops, I didn't draw anything on that one. Roughly in the ballpark of about, I don't know, 20% or so. Yeah, 22%. Somewhere in that range. So not that far off for it to actually start breaking above its previous all-time high. And then usually what happens on breakouts, well, it likes to go and test out this 1618 level. So this is showing Ethereum to be in the ballpark of $14,000. Now, what does this mean if you do transact on the Ethereum network? Well, it means that you're about to be paying a whole lot more and a whole heck of a lot more for the gas fees, because right now the GUI, I've been pulling this up each time I go live on it, is still sitting above 70 at this point. Let me actually refresh the page just to get the current 75 GUI. That's brutal, y'all. It really is. 103 to swap anything. And again, I know we had the whole little debacle that recently happened with RH ecosystem. I'm right there with you. The current fees on Ethereum are trash. They will eventually probably get their act together. They are coming out with updates all the time, so I don't put all my eggs in one basket for any reason whatsoever. But what I will say for sure is that Ethereum fees are trash. And how can you save yourself from those fees? Well, by going to Pulsechain.com. Pulsechain.com actually forked the entire ecosystem of Ethereum, the entire layer 1. So all of your ERC20 tokens and all of your NFTs were all forked and copied one for one over onto the Pulsechain network. So you might actually be sitting on a little bit of money over there. Go to Pulsechain.com to find out more information for yourself as well. But right now, in order to transact on the Pulsechain network, you can see it's going to end up to swap something 2 pennies to send PLS, which is the Ethereum version, right? It's the token that you need, the gas fee token. So PLS is 0.001, 1/10 of a penny, and send any PRC20 token 4/10 of a penny. That's pretty incredible. 5,200 times cheaper than Ethereum, 2,800 times cheaper than Bitcoin. Again, plenty times cheaper than basically every other blockchain out there as well. So keep that in mind if you are wanting to save yourself some fees. You can, in fact, buy the same exact version copies, and I've pulled this up before as well, but you can actually buy yourself the same exact version. So if you do like buying wrapped Bitcoin over from Ethereum, you can actually get wrapped Bitcoin on Pulsechain. So if you actually wanted to, you can actually go get yourself even just say 1 Bitcoin, or whoops, let me just see to swap this around the other side. So yeah, you can actually get yourself 1 wrapped Bitcoin over on Pulsechain. Heck of a lot cheaper to transact. Same exact thing over here for wrapped Ethereum as well. If you were wanting to actually end up purchasing Ethereum, but you don't want to have to buy all the fees and all that other stuff. I'm not personally buying any of these tokens, but if you would like to, this saves you so much money. Why would you go pay $100 when you can use the additional $100 to get yourself more of the asset? So for example, if I wanted to just get 1 Ethereum right now, it would be roughly around 3,900, I'll even just say 3,920, right? So that would allow me to get 1 wrapped Ethereum right now on the Pulsechain network. If you want things to go a little bit faster, simply go up to the settings widget right here, turn off auto router. Again, it will actually do a better deal, or at least a faster order execution. So if you don't want to be patient, you definitely can do that for anyone who is wanting to transact. And being that I'm live on stream, I'm just going to go ahead and knock that out real fast, just so that way y'all can also see. So if I wanted to get wrapped Ethereum, where to go? And I wanted to purchase it with DAI, which again, you can actually bridge right over. This would allow me to essentially get 1 wrapped Ethereum right here, right now. Pretty fast, pretty simple, pretty easy, y'all. So keep that in mind. The more people who come over and take some of the network load off of Ethereum, the better it is for every participant on the Ethereum network as well. So this is where I'm actually going to be going on to the Pulsechain network. Now, being that it is part of the Pulsechain network, I do have some prices as well. We can kind of get rid of some of the drawings for the time being, but the current price of Pulsechain, and I'll just pull it up on gopulse.com as well if you ever wanted to find out a quick little resource. This is definitely an easy tool to go to, gopulse.com. The price of Pulsechain currently sitting at 30176. Price of PulseX sitting at 40858. Price of the incentive token back to $8.70, and the price of HEX on Pulsechain is sitting right below 2 pennies. Price of Ethereum HEX 0.004. So Ethereum HEX definitely took a massive hit in the recent time due to Richard Hart tweeting saying that Pulsechain is a better network. So literally that just kind of freaked everyone out. But again, I went through this yesterday. If you are making an emotional decision and you're swapping all of your tokens while it actually dips, so what happened was people actually swapped all of their Ethereum HEX down here while the price was dropping into a token that was pumping, and typically when a token pumps, you get a pullback, and that's exactly what happened. So the token pumped, and then everyone swapped their token at a lower loss than it was originally, and then took a bigger loss because it actually took a dump as well. So like, you don't want to be making these emotional decisions by any means for anyone, but everyone has to learn their own lesson and, you know, figure it out for themselves and what makes the most sense. Overall though, right now the current price of Pulsechain is sitting at 301,758. We are following this little pattern pretty damn close to exactly how I assume it's going to go. I can actually see it going back and doing a bigger correction on the downside. So a little ABC going down on the downside. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going up for the impulse wave, and you have ABC for a correction, and then going back and doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before it starts breaking into even higher highs. At this point in time, the previous all-time high for Pulsechain so far at this point has been 302884. So it's not that far off right now, as a matter of fact, y'all, from its previous all-time high, currently less than a 2x away. We have seen 2x moves within a day on the ecosystem, and if not a day, definitely within the span of 6 or 7 days, right? So that was 4 days here to see a 2x. Even right here, you saw another little 2x. Whoops. Even right here, you actually saw another little 2x over here. Breaking it down a little bit longer over here. So this one took roughly around 49 days to see that. But if you were buying during any of these time periods, again, you were enjoying all of these prices going up. We are making higher highs, higher lows. We've broken out of our little bullish ascending wedge that we had formed during this time period. We are hoping to keep that level as a support level. So ideally, we'd really want to make sure that C doesn't fall too much below it. But again, as long as it's still making higher highs and higher lows, this is a beautiful structure to see, and it's just set up and geared for a massive pump to the upside. We could even see it go up within a few days, where it does this break above all-time high within the next week. So I wouldn't put it past anybody at this point. Again, this isn't to induce any sort of FOMO. It's to just keep it as real as I can with all of you as well. Let me say hello to some beautiful people who had come in through the chat. Dosteezy, what's up, ATX? Good morning, Pulse Nation. I bought more Pulse, PulseX, and HEX today. Did you? Daily DCA, I sure did. I do my Pulse Challenge, purchasing all of those tokens every single day. Dosteezy says, our Academatiated says, yep, in both liquid loans and earn, and every time we appreciate our borrow and buy more. Money printer. Yeah, it is a money printer for sure. Just be careful. I don't want to go to and get too crazy on those protocols, but be smart with your collateralization ratio during that time period. Dose Easy, we gonna make it for sure. Bugs, how you doing? 10 Top, what's up, Hexkins? Dose Easy, yeah. Euphoria for others, not for us yet, right? Bitcoin is in fact seeing a nice little level of euphoria. So what you can do and notice just on this little line real fast is you can actually see Bitcoin is actually going through and hitting this little level of euphoria right now. So previous times that it actually has gone through and been in this Bitcoin euphoria zone, it actually will break its all-time high. How long it typically lasts for is, you know, up to everyone's decision. You can see there are multiple points in this time where it goes through euphoria as well. So it's not like it just hits euphoria and then drops back down. We've just kind of broken above the euphoria zone. So we're just kind of kicking in to this exact screen right now, as you can kind of see. Bitcoin is broken above its new all-time highs relative to the US dollar this week, clearing 69,200, rallying over 72,300. We actually saw just a moment ago it's even higher than that as well. If we actually did look at Bitcoin, I believe it was 72,000 damn, a high of 73,000 so far is the high. So it's definitely crushing in that regard. For its all-time high. If we only consider the major breaks above the prior cycle all-time high, this would be the fourth new cycle all-time high in history. In this edition, they examine the euphoria zone, which tend to accompany new all-time highs from an on-chain data perspective, right? And so you can see, just looking at some of this data, you can actually find this information for yourself on Glassnode as well. The price is not the only metric to have recently reached a new all-time high. The Bitcoin realized cap, being measured from the total wealth stored in Bitcoin, has also marched to a set of new all-time high of $504 billion, adding an additional $40 billion in capital flow during that time. So you can see, just looking at the BTC realized cap, again, right now there's roughly around 54 billion coming in during this time period, and it looks like money just keeps on wanting to go. This was the previous highs where it actually went. Now it's adding another 40 billion. So just fun data that you're seeing. This is that steady transfer of wealth for sure. The wealth transfer is once again in play. Portion of the wealth held by the young coins moved within the last 3 months, increasing by 138%. So you can see that right here, the HODL waves. And you can see that a lot of people are starting to get in right now. Some of the people who had been holding Bitcoin for quite a while are selling during these prices because they've been holding for years at this point in time. So if this is your first cycle, get ready to see things crazier than you've ever seen before. Back in October of 2023, it was only roughly around 16.3% of people kind of coming in new to the market. And then during this time, we got up to 138%. So quite a bit of an increase overall. And again, this is actually people holding Bitcoin pretty much less than 3 months. So it's a whole lot of new folks coming in, bringing it all up. You got short-term hodler supply and long-term hodler supply. So you can actually see all of these information and all of this data as well on Glassnode. So the short-term supply increased by 810,000 Bitcoin, approximately 150,000 Bitcoin withdrawn from exchanges on net. So I think we saw that really from Grayscale kind of doing its dump because it finally got approved for its ETF, and finally people can transfer their Grayscale Bitcoin that they've been holding in the trust form for quite a while, waiting for this ETF to get approved. It's finally been approved. People are selling because the prices are making new all-time highs, and they've been holding that sucker since 2018, 2019, 2020, right? They've been holding that thing for quite some time. Long-term hodler supply declined by 660,000 Bitcoin. So the new people are coming in, old people are getting out. Transfer of wealth is actually happening right in front of everybody's face. Bitcoin long and short-term holder supply cycles. So you can actually see what people are typically doing. Short-term holder supply uptick from the cycle low, and you can see the long-term holder cycle uptick as well. And so you can actually kind of see what people are doing during this time period. Typically when things are making new all-time highs, the long-term holders are swapping. What happens when things are making new all-time highs? New people are coming in, thereby causing it to actually be a peak as well. We're seeing the same thing happen right now in March of 2024, where you can actually see quite a new folk are coming in, holding 36%, where again, people who have been holding for quite some time, down roughly around 4.5% or 4.2%. So it's quite interesting, right? This is one of those things that you definitely see quite a while. It does typically hit these levels as the market breaks new all-time highs. And so, yeah, it's just pretty interesting to kind of see how it's all going to end up playing out. It's definitely something that I'm keeping my eye on, and I hope all of y'all are as well. You can find out this information from Glassnode if you want more data as well. Again, no sponsorship here by any means from them, just fun, interesting data perspectives. ETH is unusable. Yeah, emotional damage, bro. Like people got a lot of emotional damage just recently. Time to buy some HEX on Pulsechain. Stressful struggle, bro. I love you, bro. The Pothead, what's up, my friend? HEX for T-shares, absolutely. And yeah, again, like ETH is gonna the narrative of Ethereum is going to eventually switch. It won't be like a layer 1 network to transact on. There's all these other layer 1 forks that have kind of launched. And now that there's also Pulsechain as well, but there's others out there as well. So there's other networks that already allow you to transact for cheaper. Most of them were kind of a blank fork when they kind of copied the code for Ethereum. However, Pulsechain again copied all of the data, every little bit of data from Ethereum, forked it onto Pulsechain. So all of your tokens were in fact forked as well. Go check it out if you do hold some crypto, because you might be sitting on some additional capital that you may not have even been aware of at this point in time. And so what's interesting about that is Ethereum's going to end up switching its narrative at some point, and it's going to be another store of value, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it, right? But like looking at the Ethereum, market cap right now, I would say, whoops, where to go? So the Ethereum market cap was sitting at $466 billion, and the Bitcoin market cap was sitting at $1.3 billion or $1.3 trillion. And so it's pretty interesting because let me actually find the gold market cap, because we're not that far off. Gold market cap. Yeah, let me just pull that up, because I think it's like a 20x away or something along that line. Let me just pull it. Let me actually see. We'll pull up some real data here. All right, so the gold market cap is sitting at $14.5 trillion. Bitcoin is in the top 10 out of all the things out there in the global space happening right now. Bitcoin sitting at 1.38 trillion. Not that far off right now at this point in time. So you have 14.57 divided by 1.38. Roughly around a 10x difference right now to actually flip. Not only take out all the other things such as Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, Saudi America, all these things are about to get wiped this cycle. There's no doubt in my mind Bitcoin sits above $3 trillion this cycle. And by the way, that was the total of the overall market cap last cycle, right? So Bitcoin's about to be holding that by itself of 3 trillion. This was everything from last cycle. Everything, including Bitcoin, including stables, including Ethereum, including all of it. Total market cap was $3.009 trillion. So we'll just say 3 trillion. Bitcoin's about to do that by itself, y'all. Bitcoin's sitting already at Bitcoin's already sitting at 1.4 at this point. It's only a 2x away from hitting basically the all-time market cap supply of all crypto last cycle. That's pretty wild, y'all. That's absolutely wild. And not only that, it's going to flip all of these other ones. So it's going to go gold and then Bitcoin, and then it's going to say Microsoft, Apple. And what's even better, and I love it, I don't think they even show Ethereum. They do. Cool. So Ethereum, my opinion, is going to be back into the $1.5 trillion market cap as well at minimum, y'all. So it's basically going to put crypto in the top 10 of all the global market caps, including public companies, precious metals, ETFs, all of it is about to happen this cycle. Y'all are about to witness some crazy stuff happening. But again, Bitcoin already hit basically at one point in time 1.4 trillion or even higher than that, because it hit $73,000 at one point. So it actually ended up hitting a little bit higher. So it just needs basically a 2x to flip Microsoft, which is not that far-fetched to think that Bitcoin's going to end up reaching 140,000. And we're going to see a pullback, anticipate it. I do anticipate a pullback, right? You're already seeing it right now. 68,997 or 69,696 is the current price. If we pull this up on a daily, yeah, it's going down. I would love to see it go back down and test out the 618 level. That's a beautiful little metric. Once again, though, when things do like to break out above all these regions, you get a nice little 1618, which puts the price of Bitcoin right below $100,000. That is going to be a psychological resistance no matter what. Big numbers like 1,000, even a penny, 10 cents, $1, $10, 1,000. Those increments of 10 psychological levels that people are naturally going to have a massive resistance at, being like, there's no way Bitcoin's going to hit above 100,000. It's not even possible. It's possible, y'all, and it's definitely going to surprise everybody. But when it does, which is basically a 2x away, it takes over Microsoft's on the global market cap. That is pretty freaking wild. And then at that point in time, it's still only roughly about a 10x away from gold. I don't know if it flips gold this cycle. I would also be just as shocked if it did flip gold. That would put the price of Bitcoin roughly around $700,000 per Bitcoin. That would just be wild. I think we can agree with that. I want to say that even like, what is Berkshire Hathaway's freaking price? That's not it at all. 1 second here. Let me actually pull that up because that was, I know Berkshire Hathaway is another. Berkshire Hathaway is one of those that just keeps on going up over time. And what's even funnier about that price is like right now it's cost 600,000 to get one stock of Berkshire right now, right? So BRKA, okay, that's what I need to be looking up. BRK.A, BRK.A. All right, cool. Oh, I did have it already saved. So 609,000. Imagine Bitcoin sitting at this price right here. And again, this is kind of what the whole thing looks like. And I'll even flip this up on like a 3-month because it's been out for some time. This is what the chart looks like on Berkshire Hathaway. Absolutely monstrous and wild. And the fact that this is still showing bullish, like the impulse MACD down here, which is a very common indicator that I love using, is still showing bullish right now. That's wild. So it's just going to keep on going. But what if one day Bitcoin sits at $600,000, $700,000 per Bitcoin? It flips the price of gold. It flips the total market cap of gold. That's going to be pretty crazy, y'all. I think we can all agree with that for sure. Again, looking at the overall area for the crypto market cap on the total 2, or the this is total 2 right here. So it excludes Bitcoin. We have that also going up too, right? So I want to keep that in mind. This is something I'll definitely be looking at. We've already broken out of its normal pre-halving cycle. We're definitely moving faster than it's ever done before prior to the halving. But once again, usually when things do break out, I'll say again, we end up getting roughly around 18 months to reach the all-time high. After the halving, typically, we've already broken above, and usually it's within 12 months to 18 months to hit the top. So we're going to be keeping track of that. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because this is something I'll be definitely keeping track of as well. Looking at the overall market cap for all of crypto, excluding the top 10, so excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that, still sitting at $303 billion or $323 billion on its market cap. It doesn't really show one way or another on what it wants to do on the 3 months, but on the weekly, we are mad bullish once again. Looking at the impulse MACD, we've already bounced off all the 300 EMAs, and now it's just onwards and upwards, going into a bigger new territory. We're about to break its previous all-time high, which I'll just draw a line real quick. Its previous all-time high was 500 or 492 billion. We're at 327. Not that far off at this point, roughly around 45% move to the upside. Breaks us outside into a new territory that we haven't reached just yet. So there's still plenty of bullish news to be looking at during this entire process. What a chart. Yeah, dude, like imagine that Berkshire Hathaway chart is stupid, man. It's a crazy chart. I remember seeing it, and you just always look at it and you're like, wow. Like, just imagine holding one of those stocks one day. Like, and again, like 600,000 to buy a stock is, just kind of like absurd, and in my opinion at least. But it definitely happens. Clear as day. Plenty of people do it. I'll even add it to the list because that's a fun one to keep track of. Why not? Here we go. Move it into below Apple. There you go. And oh, why don't I have Microsoft on here? 1 sec, y'all. Weird. Thought I also had Microsoft on there. All right, cool. Well, now I do. All right, so looking at all these charts real fast, it's fun to see everything going in a fun, bullish direction. The dollar still going in a downward trajectory, which is just even more bullish for crypto as well, especially with the CPI report that just came out today. I don't see that dropping anytime soon, or I don't see that raising out of nowhere anytime soon, which just means more bullish for longer in crypto, because if they decided to start decreasing rates, typically Bitcoin has never been in this little financial situation before as it launched after, so we've never seen crypto outside of a zero rate environment for the most part, right? So except for the last inflation over the last couple of years. So it's going to be curious to see how it all plays out for sure. That's something I'll definitely be tracking over here on the channel. Y'all are welcome to, again, like and subscribe to it. And let's just play the little song in the background for y'all so that way everyone can enjoy.
hit the like button. If you're having fun, comment, type something. If you're laying back, leaning in, engage. Just take a second to smash the whole page.
All right. Shout out to Neiman for making that. There's no crying in crypto. Yeah, there's plenty of crying in crypto. What you talking about? If you looked at Twitter, everyone be crying. It's so funny, and it's all about perspective, y'all. I said this in the other day, and in the stream the other day, but it literally comes down to perspective and how you're viewing things and what you got going on. Because if you always look in the past and regret's poison, man. It's definitely going to be something that's going to bite you in the ass more times than not. It's going to be something that you say, I didn't buy enough when the price goes really high. I didn't sell when the price goes really low. And you're always saying, like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I could have done this, I could have done that. Like, be thankful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Try to continue to build upon the positions that you have, so that way it gets even easier to attain levels that you may have actually been looking for or eyeing for. Maybe you're trying to reach that $1 million threshold finally, but you only have $1,000 invested. It's going to be hard to get there. It's going to require 1,000x. What if you decided to come up with a little bit more capital to make it a little bit easier on yourself? Over the next period of time, the next 6-8 months, whatever that may be, we're going to be seeing a mad rush to the bullish zone. But what if you have 10,000 invested during that time? Cool. Now you only need 100x. All these things make it easier on yourself, right? And so try to look back if you are trying to find ways to accrue additional capital at different expenses that you have in your life, right? Like, I know whenever I first started investing and all that good stuff, I started looking at all the stupid shit I would pay. I would look at my bank statement and be like, why did I go buy, you know, this, and this? Why was I buying 4 Red Bulls in the morning every day at a gas station when I know it costs like $3-4 at the gas station, when I can just go buy them if you wanted to save some money at HEB? Or shit, what if I didn't even do that and just drank coffee at the house? Exclude that right away. And so you start looking at all those things. Energy drinks was a big one for me back in the day. Another one was, again, I used to smoke, so that was a big one. Whenever I stopped smoking, saved myself so much money right away. I used to drink. I looked at how much I was spending on drinking. Now I no longer drink. Save myself so much money. And again, you don't have to go to all those extents and everything, but if you're trying to speed the process up, there's no reason to go try to get into shit tokens and try to go chase all these new shiny objects to get launched every 2 seconds to try to trade in your position, sell during this little 20% pump so you can buy back during a 10% drop and sell during, like, dude, like, people are definitely doing that. At the end of the day, that adds so much stress to your life, and crypto is already stressful enough as it is. If you end up doing all the other stuff, it just makes it that much more difficult. So I just advise that you probably can look around your house, say, dude, I don't need all these extra things. Or if you just want to have all the objects and you don't want to sell anything because you did put time and energy into, you know, your time, your capital, your own time invested, right? To buy those objects, you worked a job, you worked a 9 to 5, and you got yourself a nice TV, a nice watch, and whatever it may be. I'm not saying go sell everything in your house and sleep on the mattress on the floor. I'm saying, like, find a way. Yeah, of course, Crypto Bigfoot. Find a way that you can actually look at different areas in your life. And I started looking at all those things for myself, and it just became this realization that, dude, I was spending hundreds of dollars a month on garbage that I literally have no need for. Not only do I not have a need for it, sometimes you would buy stuff on Amazon because whatever reason, you know, you got the money, you know, you have the income or whatever, so you would just buy it just to have it. And then you look around your house and you're like, dude, I don't use half the shit. I've talked about this before. I bought a drone. I haven't even opened it. Why was I doing that? Because I got plenty of money at one point in time, and I was looking at my portfolio and I was like, I'm paper rich. And that's what's going to happen this cycle. You're going to be looking at your portfolio, the amount's going to start going up, and you start spending money as if it's already in the bank. So just be cautious about that. I caution everyone when it comes to the sudden wealth syndrome, as they like to say. But the true realization of seeing the portfolio go to a certain amount and then spending that money as if it's already in the bank. And again, I caution everyone against that, but hey, I was that person. I had to learn the lesson myself. Plenty of stuff that I didn't even use, and I still haven't used. There's some things that I would use one time and I've locked it away or put it away. I went through like a stage where I think I went through like 4 different mouse and 4 like these little, like, this is what the heck is this? A death razor or something like that? A razor mouse? My bad. This is a death adder. But you start looking at those mice and or whatever they're called, right? Mouses, mice. You start looking at them and you're like, Yeah, I'll spend $300 so I can have a couple extra buttons on my mouse. Yeah, I'll spend this kind of money because, like, dude, it's silly, y'all. It's absolutely silly. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep that in mind. Y'all are gonna experience something very similar in the near future, especially in the next 12 months, y'all. The bull market has started. In fact, it's been in place since really 2022, if you want to get technical, but really started kicking off in January of this year. That's when it really started shining. The bull market has been here. So keep that in mind. Once you start seeing things start breaking new all-time highs, once you start seeing more money than you've ever seen in your life, have a plan in place of the 5 P's of proper preparation, preventing poor performance. Make sure you got something in place, man. Because if you don't, you're going to be a sad panda. You're going to be a sad panda, y'all. I'm telling you. What's up, Academiciated? Yeah, there's no crying in crypto. What's up, T-Time? How you doing? What's up, brother? What's up, Trendsettas? How you doing, Finbear? What a chart, Crypto Bigfoot says. LFG, ATX Crypto, preaching about quitting bad habits. Love it. Yeah, and, you know, we've all had our own little items that we fight with and demons that you fight with and ways of different mechanisms of coping and all those different items. So I'm not saying like everyone's struggle is going to be my struggle in particular and it's going to have a, you know, ease of doing it or not ease of doing it. It's not easy to stop some of those habits, especially if you've been doing them for years. You've truly built a habit. And I think they say you have to do something. Was it 1,000 times to break a habit or to create a new habit? So quite a while, right? Like how long to create a new habit? Let me just see. I'll just pull it up real fast just because why not? I like seeing some things. It says 18 to 254 days is how long it typically takes to form a new habit. So if, for example, you start going to the gym, it's always easy to start going to the gym in the beginning. It's always easy to start going for a run, or it's always easy to start going for the walks. But you do it a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and you're like, yeah, this is cake. And then for whatever reason, you start taking time off. You start saying, this is going to be my chill day. I'll pick it up tomorrow. And then you say, well, you know, for whatever reason, I got tied up. I got busy. I'll pick it up the next day. And this happens over and over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually you just stop doing it. So like stopping drinking, stopping smoking, stopping all those things, like it doesn't come with just like you wake up the next day and like, I'm fucking done. Like, no, dude, it's tough. It is super tough. You've been doing it for years. But at that point in time, once you continue to find a way to either find something else to that it's tough. I don't want to say find something else because sometimes you just form one bad habit to another bad habit, but you find that's my way of doing it. So like I went from not smoking cigarettes, but I drank more, right? And then I went from not drinking and I went to like smoking weed. And then I went from like all these different items that I've gone through, and now I don't even do anything, completely sober. It's crazy as all can be, but it's been a journey of years. I didn't just get there and wake up one day where I'm like, I'm not going to drink, smoke, or do anything else. No, I don't advise that against anybody. Some people can go cold turkey, but most of the time, find a way to either ease back and lower your tolerance or whatever that may be, or start lowering your intake. And not only that, you continue to keep on going, and eventually you find a way to get rid of that bad habit. And that was incredible for me. So then I think it's probably been 3.5 years since I've had a cigarette. I think it's been like 2.5 years since I've had a drink. I'm not going to say how long it's been since I smoked weed, but it wasn't that long ago. But I have stopped, right? And that was something that I made the decision because I was like, dude, I want to. This is something that I've been able to stop all the other bad habits. Let me find a way to stop this bad habit too. And I'm not saying it's a bad habit, dude. Look, everyone has their own decision at the end of the day. Like, it's not the worst thing to do if you just do some of those things occasionally or recreationally or whatever. But when you end up finding yourself kind of like affixed to it, which is what I ended up getting with my habits. It's not like I can just have a drink and then stop drinking. That wasn't ever a thing for me. It was I'd have a drink and I'd have fucking 6, 7, 8, 12, 20 more. That was crazy. I would have a cigarette and I would want another cigarette back to back, and then I would just go back 10 minutes later for another. Like that's when shit gets out of control. If I started smoking in the morning, I would smoke for the rest of the day. I wasn't just able to be like, oh, I'm just going to hit it one time at night before I go to sleep. No, that wasn't me. I don't have that ability. For me, it definitely took a lot of effort, and I hope everyone has to find their own effort as well. Replaced by crypto. Yo, crypto is a lot of stress, man. Crypto is a lot of stress in your life. So, All at once, Finbear. Fuck it, dude. Let's do it. Here we go. So that's always a fun thing too. ZZ Lee says LFG. ATX Crypto preaching about. Appreciate Benny Davis. What's up, my friend? So much love to you as well. So much love to all the Patreon peeps. To everyone who's there. It's more about, again, just having everyone else to talk to. It's not anything crazy. I share most of the information, if not all the information, with everyone. It's more about just like having a different place to talk to, because what I found was when you're in crypto, you can't just talk to normal average day folk. You can't just even talk to your spouse, because if they're not in it and they don't have the same mindset, then you just end up like having someone else on your shoulder telling you that you've made a terrible decision or that you need to sell when prices are really high. And you're like, dude, I've made it this long. Why would I want to sell now? And it just keeps on going on and going on. So if you don't have someone else to talk to in crypto and you want to form a little community, obviously there are some different places you can find. You can do meetups. You can do all these different things. I find to be the Patreon peeps from my channel to be just a nice, enjoyable place to come out, share your thoughts, share your opinions, and not just get like berated all the time on, having, I want to talk about this crypto. And they're like, wow, right? Because it's tough to have people in real life, unfortunately, that can actually have that conversation with you. I remember talking about crypto. I'd be like, dude, I put in $100,000. And they'd be like, you had what? You did what? Are you freaking stupid? Like, what? Because they don't have that kind of money. They've never even fathomed having that kind of money. So if you don't have someone even on that level with you, it's tough. It's very tough. And it's same thing happens with like breaking a habit. If you don't have someone there to support you, it's easy to pick it up again. So I've stopped smoking before in the past. I've never stopped smoking for this long, but I've stopped smoking before in the past. But what would happen is I would then have a smoke whenever I would go out and have a drink. And I'd be like, I'm only going to smoke when I have a drink. I would make these little exceptions to the rule. I'd make these little exceptions. And then next thing you know, those exceptions became the norm. They became my average every day. And then they became, when you end up doing something by yourself, that's typically when you know you have an addict scenario, right? So if you are in a situation where you're at your house doing nothing, bored, smoke. If you're at your house, bored, drink. And that's when it became kind of like the thing when you start noticing. But again, if you don't have someone there to be that shoulder, that support system, my wife, the fact that she actually ended up dealing with everything that she went through with me and helped me get to the person to be who I am today, I needed it. But she also let me grow in through it too. She wasn't a constant nag scenario where it's like, you have drank this and this and this. No, she understood that like I did it. I had to go through it. I have my own traumas in my own life that I've had to deal with. And after everything was all said and done, when I decided to make the decision, she was there to support me. And that's incredible. If you can find someone through that journey, cryptos especially, like if you don't have someone there who you could be like, yo, I just want to have a conversation. It's tough, man, because I know I can't talk to an average everyday individual and being like, dude, I just lost 50,000 today. I just lost it. They're like, oh, dude, I make 50,000 in a year. What do you mean you just lost it? Why wouldn't you cash it out? You're so stupid. And you're like, all right, bro, you just don't get it. This wasn't a conversation about like you coming to rag on me. I just wanted to share a thought, wanted to share my opinions, wanted to share my feelings. It sucks, guys. It does. Like the whole situation that happened with HEX recently, that one hits several people, several places, because it's a tough decision, right? But I'm still buying HEX. I'm like, dude, the contract itself isn't broken. The system works. The only thing that is broken is ETH gas fees. I went and looked at one of my stakes, for example, and I went to look at one of my stakes the other day to end it. This is a stake that I've had going for 3 years now at this point. And as soon as I decided to go end it, I think it was, again, because the GWEI was 70 GWEI or something stupid, the dang thing cost me, it was like $600 to end it. And I was like, I am not paying that kind of gas. Because one, on Ethereum, because the prices went down so much recently, it wasn't even worth $600. So I'm just like, damn, that sucks. I just have to let that bleed out. Guess so. Because that's just how it goes sometimes, y'all. That's part of the way this whole system works, man. There's going to be times where the bull market's here, or the price is going to be extremely high, and that stake that you had waited for during the time is going to be well worth it and pay off. There's going to be other times in the situation where, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to take a little bit of a hit right now. And that kind of seems to be what it is. But talking to them, even just in $1,000 mindset sense, is still just like, well, I don't know. That's not what I would do. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, what are you investing in? They're like, well, I don't invest in anything. I hold my cash myself. How much do you have saved? Well, I don't even have anything saved. I do paycheck to paycheck. You only live once, man. Why would I have anything saved? And you're like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Like, that conversation was a pointless conversation. And I've had those conversations before. I think we all have. So, yeah. Let me see if I can pull up this stake real quick here. End it. All right, so let me see. Oh, I'll even show y'all on screen real quick. This is something that I did initially through the Staker app. So, anyways, to end it, dude, come on, what? Just connect. Be connected. What are you doing? What are you doing? And continue. All right, so yeah, dude, come on, guys. What are we talking about? That's trash. $600 to end that stake, $676, and that doesn't go anywhere else besides Ethereum validators. That just goes right into their fucking pockets. Waste of money. Like, I think we can all agree, this sucks. $657? Like, no, I'm not paying that. I won't do it. That's with Gwei being at 85. Even if you reduce the Gwei to 40, you're still talking $350. You reduce the Gwei to 20, you're still talking $200. So, like, damn. Now, Ethereum will eventually get their shit together. I do honestly believe that wholeheartedly. I think eventually Ethereum's going to get their shit together. So I would not personally end any stakes early on the Ethereum network. I damn sure wouldn't end a stake if you're going to pay $600 just to go end it, because you have to go make that money back. And so, like, keep that in mind for everything that you're doing. Even if you're sitting on, like, millions right now on the HEX side of things, right? Even if you're sitting on millions right now, you still end up in a situation where you can get absolutely decimated, right? So let me even just pull this up. We'll just say HEX from Ethereum, and we'll go flip this, and we'll just say 2 million. Brings us, oh, come on. Why do I got to connect? I'll connect it. 1 second, y'all, while I do what I got to do. All right, switch, 2 million. So 2 million HEX right now costs roughly around $8,000, right? Somewhere in that ballpark. And if you were able to end up getting that amount of HEX, then congrats. And if you had it staked, so be it. But at the same time, I look at it from a standpoint of into the future, what could happen? Ethereum could eventually get their act together. So if you have a stake and it's, you know, 1 million HEX, for example, so $4,000, but you staked it out for 15 years, and then you try to go end it early, you're paying the $600 for the Gwei. You're probably swapping it into HEX on Pulsechain, is my guess, or any other token for that matter. Maybe you just want to get out of HEX. I don't know. But it's just like all these different scenarios are coming into the play when all you have to do is just like let it ride, man. Like, if it is what it is, we've always said it. You stake it out for years and then just wait and see what happens. We said that all through 2022, 2023. Like, the bear market came. All the people who had multi-millions of dollars in stakes went down to hundreds, if not tens of thousands of dollars in stakes, because that is the bear market, right? And so you had so many people who were like, man, I wish I would have just ended it early. Man, I wish it wouldn't have been staked that long. Like, dude, all those regrets are just nothing but poison in your life. Please do not have regrets over whatever you got going on, because this is still an early freaking time, y'all. We are still so freaking early. Right now, PulseX is on a little move right here, so I'd love to see that back above SAC price, but we are holding a beautiful level of support / resistance right here. A nice little level of support right at the 4077 range. We've already broken out of our little ascending wedge. Again, a nice little bullish trajectory. We're still making higher highs and higher lows on PulseX. HEX on Pulsechain, again, is kind of going with a little bit of a flat side of things right now. If you were to pull this particular chart up, again, we have just kind of like gone back to the retrace levels that we were previously at in January, if not even before that, where we're actually somewhere in the ballpark of October. And even before that, you know, we're over here in July. So we're just hanging out in this little zone. I could definitely see that doing a nice little rally, but until it really starts taking off, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Like, don't try to make an irrational decision or an emotional decision, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get yourself wrecked. You're going to get yourself wrecked, and it's not fun to end up in that position. I don't want to see anyone get themselves wrecked during this time. The incentive token still sitting at $8.46. It looks like it wants to start rallying back up again as well. So everything is kind of geared up at this point to start moving. And I'd hate to see you do something silly because of a decision made today. Just wait and see how it plays out. That's my recommendation. That's what I'll even just keep saying. But anyways, what we got going on in the chat. And let me know, again, to those of y'all who need this, play it.
Hit the sub button, hit the like button. If you're having fun, comment, type something. If you're laying back, leaning in, engage. Just take a second, just smash the whole page.
All right, RGS says, hey ATX, what's up? Crypto Bigfoot, hello. Let's go. I gave up sugar and carbs all at once. Damn, Finbear. Bought 50 kilograms of beef. Oh shit, Finbear, that's funny. Oh, that was very funny. Let me keep on going back, dude. I got to go back and find out. There it goes. All right, Finbear, that's a good way to do it. Let me just kind of read through the chats. Y'all are funny, man. Finbear all at once. So RGS says, LOL, that's so true. Has to be a habit you do every single day. It really does. Urban Productions, I went from cigarettes to chocolate bars, lol. RTS, Finbear, that's a good way to do it. Replaced by crypto, says Spider, for sure. Damn, right, Archie, right? You got steaks and chocolate. You have to be self-aware. I mean, for sure. You got to understand your own little ticks. And dude, like, there's been times where you just want to go and just have a drink again. But, like, I know what happens when I go through those stages. And I'm like, dude, if I end up having a drink again, it just unlocks a fucking door that's like, okay, cool. I only drink whenever it's this. I make an exception because of this. I do this exception because of this. And next thing you know, full on fucking alcoholic again. And that's a brutal spot, man. That was brutal for me to go through. Brutal for my wife and kids to go through. Don't want to experience that, or don't want to have them go through all that again. So for me, that's the reason why. That's my why right there. Why do I stake? Because I want my kids to have a better future than I had whenever I was first 18 and threw into the world, joined the Marine Corps, because I'd already been in trouble with the law, right? I had gone through my little moments, and so joined the Marine Corps, got my shit together. Congrats, thankful I did. Shitty the stuff that I had to experience while there, but I'm thankful that it happened because, again, it made me who I am. All those different things play out for a reason, and again, the choices that you do make have an effect on your destiny, right? I actually have a fun little ambigram tattoo that says choice and destiny flipped, right? So every choice that you make affects your destiny, and so that's the decision that I've made for myself. Crypto Khalil says, proud of you, ATX. It's great to hear some of your story. You help motivate me to do the same. Appreciate that, Crypto Khalil. Roughly 80% of my income goes on drink, drugs, women, and the rest of it is I waste. Yeah, you never walk alone. If you, dude, like, check out some of the math that you do sometimes. It's freaking wild. From $6 to $5 DCA challenge. Let's go. RTS, Finbear. I'm on a Carnivore 2, defo working. You never walk alone, laughing. Yeah, everyone's laughing that you never walk alone. It's silly goose. Finbear, my buddy said he only smokes when he drinks. Ended up drinking every night for the smokes. Yeah, that's like, I've been there, man. I know that pain. I laugh because I'm there. Like, I've been there, y'all. I've been in the situation where you're like, I'm only gonna do it because of this, and the exception becomes the rule, and that's never how you should be doing it. But hey, neither here nor there. Finbear says he later quit both. Good for him. And that's tough, man. That's not easy, y'all. You have to understand, like, it's not fucking easy. Like, if you're having a craving and you walk by and you smell someone smoking, and you're like, oh my gosh, I would love it. You know, like, that was like, I don't know if it was around it as a kid. My dad would just smoke all the time. I love the smell, man. And so it's like, shit takes me back, and it sucks to be in those situations. So how do I avoid it? Well, I try to avoid myself from putting myself in those situations, and if I am, I try to get myself out of the situation as quick as I can, because again, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole that I know would lead me down the rabbit hole, and I don't want to go down it. So just FYI. Urban Production says 100K is huge money for regular folk. Dude, it really is. And you're like, guys, like I'm telling you, it's like you can turn it, 100,000. Like, yeah, you might end up losing 50% right now. It's fucking crypto. I get it, right? You can turn 100,000 into $1 million with the 10x though. And how often do 10x's happen in crypto? Quite often. What if it goes from 100,000 to 50? Cool, you need a 20x. Okay, cool. Congrats. What if you instead bought the dip while it was actually going down? So then you have not only a 50,000, but you increase your bag back up to 75. Well, now you only need a 15x, right? And like all those things are how it works. So the more that you can build it's the amount of quantity of tokens at the price of whatever it is at the time. That's all that matters. How many tokens do you have? What's the current price? That's all that matters. Like everything else in between doesn't really matter. So even if one day HEX reaches $10, but you've only got yourself 1,000 HEX, you got 10,000, congrats. Or I guess $10 would be $100,000, congrats. But like, what if you could just have 100,000 HEX and it reaches $10? Well, now you're sitting on $1 million, Like, that's what matters. It's quantity of tokens at the price, whatever that price is. The more quantity that you have, the easier it is to get the mad gains that you can get. The reason why the prices are still low in HEX, Pulsechain, and PulseX is for everyone to have a better opportunity to actually get a much easier system to get into that next tier. If you're trying to elevate your life, you can continue to buy during the prices that it's at. PulseX is still below SAC price right now, right? Pulsechain's not that high above SAC price. It's what, 2x above SAC price almost. That's not that high. You still have a massive opportunity ahead. Like, just keep that in mind. Cookie de Chocolata says, hello, fam. Great to see you all. Great to see you too, Cookie. Let me just kind of go through. ATX is my support. Appreciate that stressful struggle. Haiku. That's funny. I like the way it's spelled. Haiku says, I feel your pain. Shake my damn head. I do. And everyone. And you have to go through it, man. Like, you have to get, like, sometimes you reach the deepest, dark depths of your fucking life, and trying to go through that sober is terrible, right? Like, you go through some terrible points in time. If you can come out on the other side, though, and continue to see that at the end that there's only one direction to go, and that's up. If you can make it out of that hole, you've done very well, and you become stronger and more resilient and a better person because of it, typically. It's when you get stuck down in the deep dark hole and you think, I have to find that way to escape, and you use the escape mechanism as a drug, and it doesn't allow you to escape, but it just hinders you at that level. So anyways. Yeah, wow, 8K. ATX is my support, appreciate that. Cookie says, hey Finn Bear, when I drink, I get drunk. Lol. Urban Productions, you're doing the right thing, ATX, just stay clean. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it wasn't an easy process. It took years to do. I didn't just get here one day and be like, all right, I'm here. Like, no, bro, it took years to get here, man. I've stopped smoking. I've stopped drinking a few times before, but I've never actually stopped smoking and stopped drinking. So the fact that I have the fact that I can say it's been years, I'm already proud of myself for that, moment in and of itself. Crypto Bigfoot, word, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. There you go. That makes more sense. Tea time, bro, you're so right. Please keep sharing that story. I quit drinking 9 months ago. Best decision of my life. I like to hang out too much, but for my wife and kids, now to look after. Dude, it's right there with you, tea time. Like, when you start realizing that you're not only affecting, when you have someone else in your life, it's a lot easier to say, I'm not only affecting myself, I'm impacting many others around me, whether it's friends and family and that kind of stuff. When you actually do have kids, it kind of gives you that realization, but half the time it causes more stress to your life. And what do you do when you're more stressed? You typically lean harder on the actual item. And so for me, it was a freaking very tough time, man. It wasn't easy. Again, I was drinking more than I definitely should have. There'd be points in time where I'd just kill a whole case in a night. I was drinking a whole bottle to myself in a night, and you wake up the next day and you don't say, I'm never going to drink again. No, you fucking pour yourself a drink first thing in the morning. that's not the way to do it, man. But that's what would happen. And I did that for years. And I'm thankful that my wife stuck it out with me, because I can't imagine I was the fucking best person ever, the nicest person ever. And then when you're going through the withdrawals, I mean, talk about that for a second. The withdrawals are the absolute worst, man. It's so easy to be like, fuck this, I did 2 weeks, man. Okay, cool. I achieved something that I thought I would do, and then I'm just going to go do it again. You go even harder sometimes, and it's just wild, man. So it's just a definitely thing. Chrono Magnus says, clarity is a beautiful thing. Agree. Crypto Khalil, same ATX. I say the same thing. It's all to better the kids' futures. Yeah, if you got the kids, you know, you definitely want to do it for sure. Find your own why, though. Like, that's at the end of the day, you have to find your why. Why are you in crypto, right? And that why right there matters. Find your why, because the why allows you to go through and experience Bitcoin. And if you were in Bitcoin during the time back here, the why is what allows you to go through this, where you can say, oh shit, I bought Bitcoin over here when it was 1,000 and I held it here. And again, to all the people who bought it at 1,000 and sold it here at the, you know, $10,000, $20,000 mark, they think they're brilliant and geniuses. And then that sucker ran off and runs up to 70,000 all of a sudden. And it's like, were they smart to sell it at 1,000 or 20? I don't know. Like, half the time, do they still have that money that they actually sold? I don't know. But most of the time, you end up spending your money because it's more money than you've ever had in your life. And you think, dude, I remember like whenever I would just be buying shit, I'd just be like, oh, I got the money. I've got more coming in. I'm getting paid. I'm doing this. There's always a reason like why I would just justify the mean. And it would always be because, like, I can make this up again. Money can always be made up again. And I always still believe that. Money can always be made up, for sure. So, like, if you happen to end up in a situation where you freaking jeopardize yourself, you lose your bag, whatever happens, you're like, oh, my God. Hey, money can always be made up again. Just try not to take shortcuts. We talk about that as well. But yeah, all those people who, you know, find your why, you find it here, and you're like, dude, I'm in Bitcoin for the price appreciation, or I'm in crypto for price appreciation, or I'm buying Ethereum for price appreciation, or I'm doing this for my kids, because if I buy Ethereum right now, by the time they're 18, who knows? And if their daughter, you know, say you have a son or daughter, and they're 10 years old right now, well, heck, what if you held that token for 8 years? Imagine, just imagine, you held the token for 8 years, right? It's a situation like this that plays out. This is what happens. And again, for a lot of people who are new to crypto, they haven't even held it for a year. They haven't even held it for a couple of months. And if you have held it for a year or two, congrats. Like, that's still, you went through a bear market. I get it. Bear markets are brutal. But what happens if you hold it for 8 years, right? That's the reason why, like, you got your stake set up a certain way with HEX. That's the reason why you got everything done that way, for that exact reason. Yeah, exactly. ATX is the kindest drill sergeant ever. Lol. ATX Crypto Preach. Appreciate that. For people looking for a community to help with recovery, there's one called, oh man, I can't really read that right here. Give me 1 second. It's kind of like pulled it up over here. Let me actually just pull it up on here. For people looking for a community to help with recovery, there's one called The Lifeboat, if you haven't already heard of them. I have not heard of them. That's interesting, Tenta. I appreciate you sharing that. For those of y'all who are looking, you know, keep that in mind as well. Dude, hit the like. I thought I had already, but no, fixed it. Appreciate that, Finn Bear. Much love. Those gummy bears, though. Shut up, Bigfoot. Oh, y'all funny, man. Y'all funny. I can't believe it, but my biggest thing is sugar. I can go for years with no booze, but candy is hard. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's more so of like replacing one for another. That's usually what would happen with myself, at least. One thing I found is like I would just replace one habit for another habit, whether that habit was good for me or not. You know, it's just kind of like how I do it, just because I would be like, oh, I need to keep my mind off this. So one way that I actually, you know, whenever I first stopped smoking was every single time I wanted to smoke, I would just do 10 push-ups. Every time I wanted to smoke, I would just do 10 push-ups. And then you just get in the habit of just doing push-ups every day. By the way, work on doing push-ups every day, y'all. Pretty simple, but build that habit. Once again, if you can't do, you know, 10 push-ups in a row, work on doing 10 push-ups in a row. Make that a goal. If you want to get 50 push-ups in a row, work on getting 50 push-ups. And you get to a point in time where you start doing the 100 push-ups in a day. And then I got the whole Pulse Nation doing it for a while. I'm going to get them back in it again. But that's kind of the whole goal, right? You just become like, okay, cool, I can replace that habit for another habit. Same for sweets, man. Sweets is definitely tough. It's you know, you go to a convenience store and you're like, ooh, Snickers bar right here at the checkout. Groink, right? And stuff like that happens all the time. What we got going on in crypto news, man? It's kind of a fun stream for sure, but let me actually play this once again.
Hit the sub button, hit the like button, yeah. having fun, comment, type something. If you're laying back, leaning and engage, just take a second, just smash the whole page.
All right, so we got the Ethereum Duncan final countdown to begin. What happened to what the heck happened to my screen? Oh, there it goes. Cool. So we got the Ethereum Duncan upgrade final countdown begins. This is supposed to be launching, I believe it's tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. Now the Ethereum Duncan upgrade is not going to help with any of the gas fees, so don't think it's going to help with anything there. It definitely will not. Just FYI, but it is set to launch March 13th, so that's tomorrow at 1:55 UTC. 1:55 p.m. UTC. The upgrade, which follows last year's Chapella upgrade, which was a kind of a mix of Shanghai and Chapella. Anyways, features several changes, most notable, which implement the ephemeral data blobs with EIP 4844, better known as proto-dank sharding, which will help cut L2 transaction fees, but it won't help with Ethereum fees. So whatever, cool. Like less than 24 hours for the Duncan upgrade. That's definitely going to be happening. Initial announcement, came February 27th. March 12th update. This initial blog post explains the client release. Okay, cool. So that kind of explains the expectations for the upgrade. According to the blockchain, major Ethereum layer 2s may experience fee reductions of at least up to 80% following the Duncan upgrade. But again, doesn't help with the ETH fee. So that's what I'm saying. Like eventually ETH's going to get their shit together. When? Who knows? Eventually they will though. And when they do, I'm going to have all the HEX that I've been continuing to accumulate. I'm going to have all my stakes that I haven't ended. So don't make rash decisions based on emotions. Bernstein sees Bitcoin reaching 150,000. Richard Hart sees Bitcoin reaching 241,000. So who's more bullish? Here we go. What else we got for the news? This looks like an article from March 6th. Come on, man. You got to have some better stuff than that. Really the DeFi news that you got going on from March 6th? You don't have nothing that's happened since then? All right, well, I guess that website's useless. Won't be looking at that one anymore. Blockworks coming through. DeFi. Let me actually go back and refresh this. Once again, this is actually yesterday's news. Gnosis Chain premieres Ethereum's Duncan hard fork. Blast developers drawn by Layer 2's liquidity. Gito Labs ends mempool functionality, citing impact on Solana users. That was all yesterday's news, so nothing really crazy there. Refresh this page. Coinbase ramps up legal action against the SEC. Congrats, dude. Forget the SEC, man. They're just like throwing spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. INJ price marks a new all-time high as well accumulates. Brad Garlinghouse reveals real-world utility kill. Okay, cool. Like he has these cells on everyone's head. Is Polkadot price undervalued as institutional interest grows? Dogecoin price prediction looming is a 40% correction coming through. Can Shiba Inu echo its 2021 surge? Analysts weigh in. Polygon price overcomes resistance with an 88% increase in active addresses. Biden government proposes 30% electricity tax for miners. Oh shit, Biden, you're screwing up. Whereas Trump's actually on the opposite side, and he's saying he'll actually be crypto friendly. XRP price correction is a drop to 60 cents. Thailand allows spot Bitcoin ETF exposure, but there's a catch. El Salvador's Bitcoin bet pays off amidst profits soar to 84 million amidst crypto surge. $2 million hacked. I love seeing the hacks, man. So I'm just gonna check it out because it always kind of like makes me chuckle whenever I get to see these little hacks. I don't know if it makes you chuckle, but it makes me chuckle. So $2 million hacked from this DeFi protocol. Unizen in brief. Okay, cool. So Unizen was exploited for $2.1 million in a recent exploit carried. Let me just zoom on in on that. Carried out by a trade aggregator attack that corrupted smart contracts. PEC Shield used Ask Unizen to fix the external call vulnerability on March 8th, following which Unizen promised to reimburse some users. Halborn has identified several projects that lost investors more than $300 million in February alone, some through smart contracts. Damn. I haven't checked this out in a while, but let me see. The DeFi Llama was where I would actually go to see hacks. And let me just go through here because you would pull up hacks on here and you're like, dude, people got absolutely smoked. So far, 7.69 billion has been hacked in DeFi. 5.8 in DeFi, 2.8 in bridges get smoked. These are all the hacks in recent times. Guys, y'all are going to see this number. So look at how this works. Whoops, let me scroll down just a smidge. So look at how this works. 2021, bull market. Not too many hacks. Sure, there's some, but not too many. Bull run happens 2021. Hacks start going freaking crazy. 2022, still bull market. Things are kind of stopping off and rallying up at the end. And then people are trying to recoup money now. So now it's bear market. People are trying to recoup money. And now we've just started entering 2024, where it basically looks exactly like this in the early stage of 2020/2021. Get ready to see this number tick way the F up. There's already been so many people who have been hacked from fake freaking Twitter posts, y'all. Like, guys, stop falling victim to a fake Twitter post person. That's not good. That's really not good, y'all. Why is this not refreshing? What? Let me just see. Refresh. Let me just refresh this real quick. 1 second. And then see if the chat comes back on again. Because whatever reason, it just kind of stopped. Anyways, maybe the chat will start going again here in just a second. But yeah, it was just one of those weird things, guys. Like, you're about to see so many hacks come out of the woodworks. So many people are there trying to get your money. So stop giving your money to them. Like, stop connecting your wallet. Don't reach out to some MetaMask customer support person. Don't, like, guys, stop it. Stop it. Stop being stupid. Like, treat this like it's real freaking money. Would you just connect your bank account to anything ever on the website ever? Like, this is your fucking bank account. Crypto's even better than your bank account. Why? Because while it could be thousands right now, it could be millions in the future, right? So, like, stop connecting to shit. Like, God, it's not that difficult, but I see it happen over and over and over and over and over and over. Like, stop it, y'all. Just freaking stop, man. It's crazy that people still keep falling victim to it. This is one of the latest ones. Do I even want to share it? I don't even know if I want to share it, man. I really don't. I don't know if I should. Y'all let me know in chat if I should or not. Y'all let me know. But basically, there's a little post that comes out. And, dude, where the heck? Where did it go? Where did you go, boo-boo? Weird. Does it just disappear? I even thought I had it saved bookmark. Damn, dude, let me know. Y'all let me know if I should share it or not, okay? I have it pulled up again. I could share it right here if you want, just to show you, like, an example. But I hope to fucking God none of y'all ever click it. I don't even know if I should show it. Okay, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the chat. I'll leave that up to you. I'll leave the discretion in your hands. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. I'm seeing it right here. Share Crypto Bigfoot says, "Hey, boo-boo, let me get another picnic basket." Hey, boo-boo. Yeah, exactly. That's how I be feeling, man. Whenever it's like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So basically what happens is it'll go like this. Richard Hart makes a post. I'll share it real fast. Richard Hart makes a post. He says, "Hey, Ethereum, blah, blah, blah." Whatever the post says, it doesn't even matter. He just says, "Hey, here's a post. Here's a tweet of mine." I don't even care what the tweet says. Underneath it, you'll get some random BS from a random fucking person, so please just check the name. Not that difficult. I've already reported and blocked. I'm sure they might even be down already, but if you want to, go report this user. Go block them. It's spam all day. This is stealing your fucking crypto. But it says, "We've just opened up the final proposal for all Pulse users to vote on Pulsechain Community Rewards Day. Those who vote within the next 12 hours will receive double allocation of points. Vote now." If you click on this site, you're going to get your fucking wallet drained. All of it. Instantly. Like, it fucking is fast. You have 500 million Pulse, 300 million PulseX, 1 million HEX. Gone. Fucking gone. Don't get wrecked, y'all. Stop falling victim to this kind of trash. This is trash. They put a random website. They're like, "Hey, check it out. Blah, blah, blah. PulsechainGovernance.com. That's not even a real fucking website. That's part of Pulsechain. But guess what? People do it. As soon as you connect your wallet, boom, wallet drained. That's a malicious dApp. That's why we talk about Set up a system to have at least 3 wallets at minimum. One should never touch a dApp ever, period, end of story. You should create it. You should create it like a vault. You should delete you should delete the ability to access that wallet by, if you have it through a hardware wallet, removing it. And just by doing those steps alone, you can send money however much you want every single day, every other time, so you can send it to this vault that just holds crypto, that never connects to anything. Cool. That's first step. Second step, minimum, split the funds that you have. So if you have 500 million Pulse, a billion Pulsechain, split one wallet with 250, another wallet with 250 at minimum. Split one wallet with 500 million Pulsechain, another wallet with 500 million Pulsechain. Why? Because in the off chance that you are silly and stupid enough to click on one of those things and connect your wallet to a malicious dApp, yes, you will lose money. It's going to be very painful, but at least you didn't lose it all. So at minimum, 3 wallets to keep yourself safe. 3 wallets to keep yourself safe. And then you can have one wallet that's a hot wallet, that's a degen wallet, that allows you to do your daily DCA purchases, that allow you to do all this stuff. And then once you accrue a certain amount, or once you get that daily DCA purchase, you just send it right over to your vault wallet. But you never connect your vault wallet to anything, okay? You can have your degen plays, it's like your yield farms, that kind of stuff, and all that, all the new tokens that you may want to get. But if you're messing around with meme coins, that's part of the malicious dApp thing that we're talking about, where you literally just have to connect and then the wallet's fucking drained. So I just don't want to see that happen with y'all, man. But we're about to see more hacks come through than ever. The bull market's just starting. You're going to be seeing new proposals coming out, fake proposals that don't even exist, that aren't even real. But they're there to promote FOMO. And so it's like, in the next 12 hours, you better do something quick. 2 things. Trust and verify. Or trust but verify. Verify with 3 different fucking sources. So if this is a real thing that's actually really happening, not only would you get people like myself and other individuals in the ecosystem talking about it, you'll actually have friends reaching out. You'll have that kind of stuff. And then you'll hear it typically from the actual founder himself. On Twitter, whether it be on stream, whatever the case may be. 3 sources. And then at that point in time, the risk is still yours to be able to take and make. But at fucking minimum, if you're going to go do something stupid like that, have a test wallet that is purposely for that exact reason. I literally have a dummy wallet. Has no crypto in it at all. I don't care about the seed words. I don't have them written down because I can delete that wallet right now and create a new wallet as a dummy wallet. So I could give 2 Fs what it has and what it is. Have yourself a dummy wallet if you're going to go try to do stupid shit like that. Guys, like, just a dummy wallet will save you. Right? Anyway, guys, like that gets me fired up. Like, ugh. It makes me feel some type of way, man. I don't know if it makes y'all feel the same way, but it makes me feel some type of way whenever I hear hard-working individuals who have put time, effort, allocation, economic capital into the years, weeks, days, months, and times that they've been able to accrue and accumulate, and then to have it all gone just within a second. Oh, dude, if that doesn't just, like, upset you to your... dude, that, like... that hurts my stomach, man. I don't know if it hurts my stomach. Where we at on the chat? Let me go back up over here. You have to be self-aware for sure. 1000%. Wait. Hold up. Let me go back in here. Y'all are funny, man. Let me go back in here. Woo! Bitcoin is on fire. Brissology, Bitcoin is on fire. You are absolutely correct. What's up, how you doing, man? Hey, yo. Hey, boo-boo. Let me get another picnic basket. The facts, man. Hey, Briss. Absolutely. How's your Bitcoin? Bitcoin's on fire. Lol. What do you call a Frenchman who wears sandals? Felipe Flop. Oh, dad jokes. Gotta love him. At Finbear, what is faster, hot or cold? Hot, because you can catch a cold. Finbear's like, what is it? Y'all are funny, man. Did you say double allocation? Take my money. Like, right? That like people are like, what? Like double allocation in 12 hours? Like that was posted 11 hours ago. I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm not gonna say Darwin's law is in effect right there, but like you're gonna get fucking wrecked, and you almost kind of deserve it to a certain degree for being so silly and like emotional. Once again, you'll let your emotions get the best of you. Like you were so scared of missing this double allocation, you risk your entire portfolio and lose it all. Like, oh man, dude, that just makes me. That's so comical. But anyways, go report megabox underscore PLS. Let me try this once again. Go report at megabox. I'll even just put it in the chat. Go report this user. Report spam. Cool. So I put that in the chat for all y'all to go report them too, because I hate seeing people get freaking wrecked on that little move, but it happens more often than it should. It's MEGABOX underscore PLUSM, like Mike. So megabox underscore plus M. Go report them. They're spam. They're impersonating Richard Hart. They're trying to scam a whole bunch of people from their money. So go save the people. Dosed Easy, 500 million. God damn. What did you say? Double allocate? Yeah, dude. That's what, like, keep it real, y'all. Keep it real. Tintop says, wait, what? But they're going to give me double points? Let me do the math real quick. 0 times 2 equals wrecked. True that. The vault is the vault. 100%. Yeah, guys, like, you're going to get different levels of crypto security, and the beginning stage of crypto security is like writing down your seed words on paper. Don't keep them don't take a screenshot of them. Don't save them in your phone, like that kind of stuff. Those are like entry level 1 basics of crypto security. And then once you get into like level 2, you start being like etch them on steel plates and all that good stuff. And then you get it, or laminate the paper, so that way if it does happen to get wet, it's not ruined instantly. And then you get into like level 3, 4, where you start getting into like steel plates and vaults and safes and all that good stuff. And then you get into like level 5, where you're, you know, multi-sig, or, you know, you have your seed words set up in multiple places and different locations. So that way, if they happen to get the first 6 letters out of the 24, then you're still good. Right? That's like ultra security type deal. Anyways, there's different levels, and you're going to get better as time goes on. But one of the levels that you should do 100% right away, even if you don't have a whole lot of capital right now, even if it's not a big bag that you would say is a big bag, and don't compare yourselves to others, but even in your own mind that you're like, dude, this isn't enough, just separate them. Just do it. Just like, you don't need to have all of your portfolio in one wallet to say, this wallet shows it's at $100,000. Like, separate that 100,000 into 33,000, 33,000, and 33,000. Cool. And then whenever it ends up reaching $100,000 again, guess what? You might even be able to do it once again. Separate it even further. And that's my diversifying my crypto. It has nothing to do with like being in 50 different projects. It's diversifying my crypto into different allocations of wallets in different locations. So if, for whatever dumb reason, one day I just get the urge to just connect to a malicious dApp or find a reason and I forget to use my dummy wallet or whatever, dude, I don't know what that day is going to be, but I'm not instant drained for all of my funds. Like, I can't imagine being instant drained. You can make it all up again. It just takes a lot of time. But keep that in mind, guys. 33 Illuminati confirmed. Yo, Haiku, one of the things that scares me the most, it says I straight up memorize my seed words. One of the things that scares me the most is my memory is fucking garbage, man. So I wouldn't bet on my memory to remember anything for whatever reason. And if you don't constantly refresh that constant update on it to make sure that it's actually correct, eventually you think it's all good. Have you ever thought of a story so much? Like, there's times in your life as a kid or whatever in your time growing up that you believe is now a true scenario that happened in your life because you've either told it so many times or whatever, only to find out that that was actually someone else's story that you heard once upon a time and somehow made it into your own? It happens, y'all. It happens. So it scares me to think that in another 20 years from now, my memory is definitely not going to be what it once was, right? And so yeah, that's one of those things that I'm going to take a little bit more precautions on it for sure. So it does scare me to try to even think that to even be the thing. Stressful Struggle says, mad love, bro. Mad love for you, bro. Definitely on the same page. Thanks for what you do for this community. Appreciate that. Much love to you as well. Yeah, like, I'm telling you, if you've ever like shared a story enough times, your truth becomes your truth. And there's no one else to deny that, because there's no one else to like say that you're wrong or hold you accountable during that time. There was a story once, and I'll even share it with y'all, that basically I thought that I had won this game of poker. My friend and I were playing, we were doing all these things. We were actually in Iraq together, and we were doing this little thing where you just have a little fun night off after all the convoys. And so during that time, we would just put in, you know, $100 bets or whatever the case may be, or $10 bets if we're just messing around and just having fun. And long story short is, I thought I straight up sweeped everybody. I thought I straight up swept everyone, dude. I was telling the story back to some people. My buddy came to visit from the Marine Corps, and we're sharing the stories, and he's like, dude, you were there, you were part of the people that got swept. And then he refreshed my memory real fast, and he was like, nah, bro, that was this dude. And he actually was like, that was a completely different person. But in my mind, I could have sworn with that 100% certainty that that was me in my story. And that was just 14 years ago, 15 years ago. So, like, I don't know. I don't want to take a risk of the seed words, man. That's all I'm saying. I've already said it, but, like, my memory is not the best. And our mental capacity and what we do with ourselves in perspectives and perception, pretty wild. Pretty wild. If you're always negative out there all the time, there's a reason why you're going to have everything negative happen to you all the time. But if you put positive thoughts out into the universe and positive things and positive affirmations, and you're helping other people and it comes back around tenfold, that kind of stuff happens too, right? Like, that same exact scenario happens. So if you're constantly negative, you're going to be either surrounded by just constant negativity, and that's just something that allows all the time. If you've ever been around a person who's super negative all the time, I think we all know people like that. We used to have a coworker who was just negative all the freaking time, complaining. I'm like, what are you happy for? Like, what are you actually thankful for? Are you even thankful you're alive at this point in time? Because every day I wake up, I'm thankful, man. I came back from Iraq. It's fucking one of my greatest things. I'm thankful every single day. That shit was wild there, you know? And so the fact that I'm here, I'm happy. I'm thankful immediately. And then I'm thankful for the kids, and then I'm thankful for the wife, and then I'm thankful for the fam, and then I'm thankful for y'all. If you're not thankful for shit, then you're just like, everything sucks. Life sucks. And then, dude, that's a very tough way to get through life. You're like, meh, the whole time. Always depressed. Always no energy. You never want to do anything. Low ambition. That's not what I want in my life, dude. I got fucking crazy ambitions in my life. And I hope to share all of them with you one day. I hope to be there with everyone, with you as well. It's not a lie if you believe it. Lol. Well, now I've had my truths shattered, so I can no longer believe it. But too funny, man. Dude, I'm getting so many messages on freaking spam accounts. Let me help you promote these DeFi coins that are coming out. Let me help you, dude. I'll give you $2,500 right now in an allocation of whatever tokens if you just promote this token 2 times. Fuck them, dude. Fuck all of them. TS Pedro says, thank you, ATX. I appreciate that, man. And again, guys, this has been a fun stream. I'm going to wrap it up real fast, but so much love to every single one of y'all. I will catch you in tomorrow's Market Pulse in the morning. Peace.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one
Like, share, subscribe.
day from society's restraints.